groovy.
Welcome to After Midnight. I am your host, KC, joined tonight by Slink and SaWgUy and SaWgUy. How's it going tonight, guys?
Going good.
Going, man. You know, back from Christmas break, I guess. Whatever.
I know. Too much Canadian mist, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Seeing shit sideways. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm excited for this one.
13th happened. We can't bring that shit with you, man.
Yeah. Oh, ain't bringing no bad fucking juju here.
For real. Yeah. So what is it? Hills Have Eyes. Oh man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is where we drop in the song from the freaking Weekend. The hills have eyes. The hills have eyes.
Yeah. It's a cultural reference, you know.
Yeah. That's how good this one is. And we're talking about the OG, the original one that Wes Craven did. Oh man. Yeah. And you know, it's a bunch of mixed reactions we all had for it. I mean, what do you guys think of it?
So, well, here, let me throw these numbers out real quick.
Oh, that's right. We got to break out the numbers.
Different points, and it's makes for a lot of fun. Let's see. Hills Have Eyes, 1977 American horror film, written, directed, and edited by Wes Craven, starring Susan Lanier, Michael Berryman, and Dee Wallace, Scream Queen, Dee Wallace.
Yeah.
Production company was Blood Relations. It was distributed by Vanguard. It came out July 22nd, 1977. Now the budget's all over the place because it ranges from, I think, 250,000 up to 700,000.
Damn.
So whichever. But it made 25 million at the box office.
Oh shit! And that's a lot of money for back in its day.
Yeah, for what, you know, $250,000 maybe, if that's what the budget is, and it scored 25 million. That's bonkers. That's stupid money.
That's like Avatar money at that point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not even blue people in the fucking. The film follows the Carters, an American suburban family, and they are targeted by a cannibal family after they become stranded in the Nevada desert. Ooh.
Yeah. I can see that shit going on now. I mean, you never know what they have near Area 51.
Dude, I would never go out in that area ever. Yeah.
Why?
If the government doesn't want me out there, I got no business being out there, so I'm just not gonna fucking go. You know?
Is it because you saw the eyes on the hill?
Yeah, I saw every one of them too. And God damn it.
God damn it.
But it's, I guess, what, first impressions? When did you guys see this one?
Well, I saw it the first time last night.
Ooh.
Oh shit. All right, you got to give us your thoughts on this one here, man. I got to hear this one.
Yeah, because I saw the remake not too long ago, like right after that first came out or whatever. But this one I never saw till last night. But for this one, I mean, the acting was decent, but it just takes a long time for it to like really pick up. Like I'd say 20 to 30 minutes into the movie, and people are finally starting to get killed or whatever. But what I was,
he's like, Millhouse, when are we gonna get to the killing?
I'm to it. Am I gonna die yet? Like, what's going on?
Oh man, this shit's too good.
We got to keep him at bay if we ever make a horror movie, because he's gonna be like, start killing motherfuckers.
He's like, shit, it's 5 minutes in, we haven't seen tits and there's no death.
Yeah, credits went up, bitch. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, it's like every 7 minutes you guys see tits or death, like one or the other. Like
Friday film school. It's awesome.
Oh man. Oh yeah, it's
I don't know. Like I was expecting to like you said, they were supposed to be cannibals. I don't think they ate anybody other than a dog. I think that's not really cannibal.
They made Ruby eat the other dog because she was bad. It's implied.
Yeah, like I guess 1977. They couldn't really put as much into it, not as much gore like they can nowadays. So I get
kind of gory. I mean, the kills look really good when you watch it. But yeah, no, good. You just baby sealing this motherfucker.
Damn.
It's just like the newer movies have like desensitized me or whatever, because I'm so used to like all the gore and blood, and this one's like pre-Friday 13th even. So I mean, I understand why I couldn't do as much in it, but it was pretty cool for the time, I guess.
I love it. No, because usually I'm the one being like, it sucked, asshole, and I don't like it. And yeah, so it's funny because
It's opposite today.
Yeah,
honestly.
I'd give it a 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, no, yeah.
Oh,
sorry about that.
That's all right. I was saying overall, I'd give it a 4 out of 10.
Oh shit!
Damn.
A 4 out of 10. Ooh,
Wow.
ooh.
Sniping.
That means Halloween Ends got a better like rating than this. What the hell is this?
I don't know. I don't think we rated it.
I
You
remember.
didn't rate it.
Yeah. It was like, I don't know. Halloween Ends, -10 kids dropped off the banister.
Prom Night Dumpster Baby right there. Oh shit.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it.
Well, okay. I mean, nothing wrong with liking it, but didn't loving it. I mean, it's a different movie, and you got to remember, for me, when I first saw it, I saw it in the 80s. And that shit was scary. When you see the VHS cover and you see Michael Berryman's face.
Oh, I was going to just say that, man. The cover of that box is terrifying.
Dude, he's like something else. I mean, I met him at a horror con, and he's a cool dude.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the fuck? Yeah.
Dude, but when you see him in that movie, he's just something else. And then with his weird, unique look, I don't mean to say weird, but I'm saying his unique look and his character and his charm in this film, it scares the fuck out of you, it was completely different for me. I could see why this film was like on the ban list, because that's around the time that, in the UK, everybody was all pissed off about like these video nasty films. And this was pretty much put on a ban list, so a lot of people didn't really get a chance to see it. If you had to see this film, like when you went to the VHS store and you see the horror movie section, obviously there's that adult section that you went to. Not all of it was about like foot and feet and tits and all that stuff. It wasn't all about that. You would see like The Hills Have Eyes. Because at the time, in the 80s, that's what everybody had talked about, saying, oh, it's a nasty film, you can't watch it. And, when you hear that shit, you want to watch it. So that's how I got to see it.
Makes you want to see it even more, yeah.
Exactly. And when I saw it, I mean, every movie every movie that's like pre-Friday the 13th, before the 80s, it's all going to have a slow burn before it gets in anything. I mean, Texas Chainsaw, what's the other one? The Town That Dreaded Sundown. A lot of those horror films, they had a lot of slow burn because they didn't know how to get the footing in. But when they did get to it, it was just like, boom, we're going to fuck you with all this gore. It was kind of like Cannibal Holocaust almost, in a sense.
Cannibal Holocaust, man, the music in that is so misleading. Like, it's so pretty, and then all of a sudden, bam, we get your film crew. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah.
It's kind of nasty when the dude rips off that fucking little bird's head and like drinks the blood out of it. That was kind of cool.
Oh, man.
I think that's Mars.
Yeah.
This movie's bonkers, man. It's again, we're talking about it in 2023, and it's from 1977. So yeah, it's it's gonna look dated and stuff. I'll say the atmosphere, because I saw this movie years ago, and then we were talking about doing it. I've seen the remake since then, but this one, so I had to go back and watch it again. And fucking atmosphere is bonkers in this movie. Like, even the desert looks creepy. And
the desert still looks the same out there, man. That's the route to go to Vegas from Cali.
Yeah. It's weird because it's you're in a bad position because your car broke down out in the middle of fucking nowhere. This guy at this store told you to stick to the main road or else bad shit will happen. And just leaves it at that. That's the harbinger. It's hot as balls. It's one of those movies where you can look, like, it's like Texas Chainsaw. You can feel it. Yeah. You can kind of feel the grime and gritty of the movie. But the atmosphere, I always remember the atmosphere about this flick. Like, it's just creepy. Like, you can tell something's off, something's not right. But the remake follows it almost beat for beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you even mentioned the bird. And I was like, oh yeah, what's his face? The guy from Land of the Dead who's the crack shot, but he's got a weird eye. He's in the remake. He eats the bird and all that stuff. But it's like, I guess for the time, I think it was brutal because, like, they sneak into the fucking RV, rape the one chick, kill the other chick, and like, they're cannibals, so they have no regard for human life.
Yeah, right? And they had to put that out there in the film to show the proof of the brutality of it. And
like,
at that time,
and like they burn the dad alive, like they crucify him and all this shit. Like, they got their shit set. They know what they're doing, man. Like,
yeah, and I would go as far as say this movie is what inspired a lot of different horror films like that.
absolutely.
The movie that comes to my mind, I don't know if you guys heard of this film from 2008 called Doomsday. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
With the cannibals?
Yeah.
Yes, and they're locked behind the freaking wall, and they go in to try to scope people out and see if they can like beat the virus, and they were cannibals.
Mm-hmm.
I get a whole Hills Have Eyes vibe off of that because they show an actually dude like getting cooked and then they eat him. And the music on that was just badass. And this is what it reminds me of with The Hills Have Eyes when I saw it, like, oh shit, it's still inspiring films, 30 years later at that point. But now here we're in 2023. You could still see a lot of the influences that it's doing because Wes Craven was just a fucking genius. And I mean, he had like 4 films to prove it, and nobody really noticed it until Nightmare on Elm Street when that came out.
Yeah. Wes Craven, it's a shame because the guy, he was really skilled at fucking scaring you on some real shit levels. Like, and one thing I noticed about his horror films, they're usually based some way in fact, like something like this happened. And this one's right up there. There's a family in Scotland in the 1600s called the Saunner Bean family. And it was a bunch of inbreds that lived in a cave, and they murdered like 1,000 people over the course of like 25 years. And that's fucking scary. That's really scary, dude.
Yeah.
You're trapped at night, and no, these guys say, "Fuck you, we're gonna eat you." It's bonkers. Like King James had to send a group out to find them and dispatch them. And because they were cannibals, they weren't considered human, so they weren't given a trial. They were just executed. Like, we don't play with terrorists. We don't negotiate with terrorists. We don't fuck cannibals. Bonkers, man, bonkers.
Yeah.
And so that inspired him, I guess, to write this flick. And even so, the flick itself it's tight. Like, yeah, it's a slow burn flick, but it's just like, boom, cannibals in the desert, they're gonna fucking eat you. They ate our dogs. I'm not gonna stop stabbing this motherfucker until the credits are done.
Now, so that ending was just badass how he just did it. It's like
it dissolves to red. Like, that's so weird. It usually,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one, like, it gets going. I mean, it doesn't stop. It's like it takes a minute to get there, but
yeah. And then Berryman, I think he's got 27 different deformities.
No shit.
Yeah. And it's funny because when they talk to him and stuff, he's such a nice guy. He's like a sweetheart. But his appearance is terrorized. It's just terrifying,
Yeah.
He was perfect for the movie. Perfect. Absolutely perfect for the movie. But yeah, it does its part. It's, it does what it says it's going to do,
yeah.
But again, Wes Craven, he would direct something that was so awesome, like The Hills or Last House on the Left, him and Sean Cunningham, And I guess he didn't want to do another movie like that because he already did it. I'm not going to go back. And so he held out, I guess, till he was broke, till he was damn near broke, and then he did The Hills Have Eyes. But Wes Craven, every decade, dude, that guy murdered it.
Yeah.
He just, because every decade, dude, Nightmare on Elm Street in the 80s, Serpent in the Rainbow. Like, that's my favorite Wes Craven.
Dude, Serpent in the Rainbow is still my favorite to this day.
Scares the shit out of me, dude.
What do you want? I want to hear you scream.
Oh, yeah. Don't bury me. I'm not dead. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And again, that's a true story. Well, Harvard sent a guy to Haiti to look at Beaucours and see what was going on, because of the guy, Clarius Narcisse. He came to walking in town, and he had been dead for 20 years and buried, but yet here he is. So that's wild shit, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wes Craven, man, he was about it, dude. Like,
yeah. He was OG at that time, man. And after he did this film, I think he did Swamp Thing after it.
Yeah, he did.
One.
And
so he kind of
contracted to do a movie, and he didn't want to do it. He'd drop a stinker in that bitch.
Yeah, that was just Wes Craven at his time, dude. Like, you're killing me. I'm like, I'm just dropping a stinker. He's never really dropped any real bad stinkers. I mean, even when he didn't try, he was still a fucking genius for what he did and what he brought to like the horror genre, just overall in general. And when you look at The Hills Have Eyes, there's so much different things going on that this film is actually considered. This was the other Wes Craven film that they put in the National Treasury of like saving the films and stuff. And
Okay.
a lot of people actually try to decipher this film of like, okay, how do you break it down like as a metaphor? You see the people, the cannibals, they're like, suburban people versus like cannibals, rich versus poor. They even tried to go as far as including race in it. And I'm like, it's not about fucking race. It's about a bunch of dumb people who didn't know that there was cannibals out there in the middle of nowhere. But I mean, they try to break it down into a story, and they talk about it more and more. And anything that you talk about a film, it's going to get more notoriety of it. And it blew up. I mean, this built his stock up between this and The Last House on the Left. Wes Craven was just already right there. It's just no one really noticed it because at the time it was considered, one of those nasty films.
Exploitation and stuff like that. Because I mean, he applied himself to it. He did it like you couldn't touch him.
Yeah.
Like he was just like, oh, these guys are depraved, so they're gonna do some fucked up shit. Yeah. That's how it is. It's Wes Craven, man. You can't. They even go so far with this movie. It's a big thing where they discuss it with you become the thing you hate.
Yeah.
You the thing you hate, because when that guy looks at his hands and shit, he's covered in blood. It's like
he became one of them.
What did you have to resort to? You resorted to what they're doing, and fucking. So it's like deep, many levels and shit. It's like an onion.
Yeah.
And
using my onion technique.
They talk about in film school and shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a running gag, I guess, between Sam Raimi and Wes Craven. And what started it was something in a movie where they dogged Hills Have Eyes. I guess Raimi kind of dogged it. And then Wes Craven, he did that scene where they choose between what is it? Fucking something and Evil Dead, and they snub Evil Dead and put on The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh,
and so
shit.
and Raimi would go back and forth. That's why the posters in the trunk with the Freddy Claw, and so it was kind of like screw you, and then it became like a friendly thing with them back and forth. Like that, I love that shit, man. I love when
that's
they do
pretty
that.
cool. That's pretty cool. Like, through those wings.
Evil Dead, where he has like the glow up on like the wall and like the cabin or something.
Yeah. I think it's in the basement when he's going after the pages.
Yeah, and he's trying to like get all the chainsaw gear, and you see it right there, clear as day behind him.
And then what? Oh yeah, Nancy's watching The Hills Have Eyes, and she's falling asleep.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So, but yeah, it's I love when they do stuff like that, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it is slow. Don't get me wrong, but like I think it has a lot of shit going for it. But you have to respect it for its place in the timeline of events that brought us here.
Yeah, it's one of the precursors to it.
Do what?
It's one of the precursors to it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because this is '77, and this made visceral horror movies like in your face. Here's my nuts.
Slap on that. Or no, what does he say? Choke on that, slap nuts.
Fucking, they busted the door open. So it used the victim's head and cracked the door open with it. So
yeah.
The Hills Have Eyes, man. Beware. Stay on the road. Don't get off the road. Which is funny. American Werewolf, stick to the road.
Shit. Yeah. I was gonna say, what would you rate this movie out of 10 stars? Because I know Casey gave it 4 out of 10. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna throw my vote in and say it's a 7 out of 10 for its time.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stick to 7 on it because for the time, I'm not gonna run and be like, this is gonna blow your fucking balls off. No, it's not. But you're gonna see fucked up shit, and you're gonna see why a lot of movies after this did what they did because it worked. It's a horror movie. I say that about Texas Chainsaw. That's a horror movie. What you're seeing is fucking horrifying. This is another one because it's like people doing fucked up shit to other people. It's fucked up to watch. So definitely worth your time. Check it out. Because Michael Berryman's pretty scary.
Was anyone else like really annoyed by that one blonde sister that would not stop screaming?
I was gonna
Oh
mention
God.
because
Jeez, that was terrible.
it's some of it's just over the top where you're like, oh my God, I would kill her on fucking general principle. Like,
Yeah.
But hey, you don't know how you're gonna react unless these people are killing your family and they're gonna fuck, So it's
Yeah.
whatever.
He just kept doing it and kept doing it. I was like, "Could you just die already?" Like,
Oh my God.
That's fucking
Then-
weird.
I did notice they put a bottle of J&B in this movie. Thought that was pretty cool.
Oh shit.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, the one I think I can't remember if it was a guy or a lady where was drinking, but drinking out of the bottle of J&B in her hand.
Oh man,
Damn.
it just got 2 more cool points. So yeah.
I would have been shitting bricks if you said Canadian Mist. Like what? They had that shit in the 70s?
Yeah, it's been around for a minute, man.
Big
Yeah.
Giallo fans, and a lot of the Giallo movies use J&B. So whenever I see it in a movie, I always like really pick out that kind of thing.
Some of them they don't get the rights to it though, and it's B&J. It's weird. So you're like, oh. Yeah. Hey, Canadian Mist, call us.
Oh man, I
T-shirts,
know.
man.
That's all I need is just a Canadian Mist T-shirt, and I'll die a happy guy.
Dude, I'll just yeah. Take me now, Lord. Just take me now.
Take me where the hills have eyes.
Yeah, dude, for real. That's what I'm saying. They can send us shirts. We could put horror movie shit on them. Do it too.
Oh man, dude,
But,
I really did like this film. For what it was, and I'm out here in Cali, and the few times that I've gone out there to Vegas, it's some scary shit because you have to go through some shit and make sure you have gas in there, your tires are filled up, because it's like 130 degrees in the summer when you go through it.
It even says it on the signs. It's like, make sure you fill up. Do not forget to step up. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, they don't mess around with that shit. And if you go out there, you'll see a lot of open land like that, and then you'll see some spots where it has those giant windmills, like those big ass ones that they use to generate electricity. Yeah. But once you pass those, I mean, it's just straight open land. I mean, it's
fucking nothing out
yeah.
there.
It's not even the desert where like it's in Casino where they take you to like bury you in the boonies or whatever. This is like the hills have eyes kind of shit. It still stayed the same because you got to go through the Mojave Desert where they filmed it.
Yeah. Oh man, it's brutal. Because even down here, there's parts of the Everglades because you literally drive through the Everglades. Like they built a road back in the day and called it a day.
Oh
and
shit!
There's signs: do not get out of your fucking car if it breaks down because an alligator will eat your ass. And like you literally look out the window and you're maybe 10 feet off the fucking swamp, and you see them. They're pimping down there, looking up. Damn. They're like, yeah, there goes the ice cream truck, and and they're in the road. Yeah, no. But even out in the desert, no, not a chance. No. There's a reason the military were testing nuclear weapons and shit out there, man.
Yeah,
there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so. Again, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out, man. I like it. So what do we give it? 7 dead dogs or 7 cooked bobs?
7 cooked bobs, extra crispy.
Fred's Oasis, whatever.
Headless bird.
Headless bird.
But yeah.
And then back next time with the remake.
Yeah, we'll do the remake.
Yeah.
Remake's good. I like it. So, all right, fuck it. Let's go watch a zombie flick, man.
Fuck it.